What's up, guys? It's Mrjamvad, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. We're going to be using this team today. I am out of teams. Like, the teams you guys are sending in are insane. So, excuse me. If you have teams that you want to submit, go in the description below and post them on my Smogon profile if you want for me to use them. But, yeah, either all the teams are either old or they're just, yeah. And so we're gonna be, I just picked one. This one is, I'm not sure who this is from. I tried to find the name, but shout outs to you if it's you. Speaking of which, I'm fighting somebody called UUU. I just think that's quite ironic as we continue our build. Been up, gym, work, so just getting home. And I was going to get some games in beforehand, but a friend of mine needed some help with some things, and so that's gonna come. It's a priority, and so that's what I've been doing. Why am I fiery dance? It might end up working out here. Actually, I'm modest too. Woo! Yeah. If he's Scarf Darm, that's gonna hurt me because I'm modest. Things like these are what I'm talking about. I'll change that, but yeah. So Volcapon KD Quiver Dancing. With rocks up, could straight sweep, considering Chandelure can't hurt me if I double quiver, and so Volk is going to be my go-to guy in order to sweep. I'll have to set up versus Magearna. Rocks are going to be a big deal in this one, but it's going to be hard for me to get them up, especially with Grassy Terrain Rillaboom. Hippowdon is going to be critical in checking that Darmanitan, assuming that it is a Choice Scarf variant. Choice Band is just gonna destroy, and there's no way around that. Another big thing I have is my Urshifu, which is quite literally Volcarona plus Urshifu could straight sweep. Zero Aura, he doesn't have very good Zero Aura switch-ins as far as Plasma Fist is concerned, so this isn't. Because I won't be able to get up rocks, Hatterene is going to be important in guarding against the Future Sight, plus guarding against his own Hatterene, and perhaps even Chandelure to a lesser degree. But Urshifu, whatever, and Volcarona are definitely going to be my key members in this game. And so, because neither of us are going to get up bands in this game, I'm going to heavily, I guess I'd assume that he'd gun with his Rillaboom early. His Rillaboom's actually quite problematic. I'm surprised how weak I am to Rillaboom with this team. Like, I just get hammered by Rillaboom. And so because of that, I'm gonna lead with something that forces him to show me his worth right off the bat. Because here, if he's Choice Scarf, he's gonna go first. I'm gonna find that out. If he's not, then, and because he gave me the Grassy Terrain boost early, what this does is allows me to just click. Gonna Psychic hard. If he's not Choice, then my thing is I don't want, if I can get the hit off on Quiver Dance and Chandelure, I think his Torkoal might have gonna Bug Buzz hard, so he does go to Chandelure. Again, if I Quiver Dance there, I think the game would have been over. In fact, I'm very surprised he went Shandy hard, unless one of these are Sag. Like, I literally could have swept him there, and I still can, but I think it's gonna take too much damage, and so wow, I could have swept him if I Quiver Dance there. But as I said, I didn't want Torkoal coming in as he tricks and he tricks Choice Scarf for heavy duty boots. Not our best situation, but now that I know that this is Choice Scarf, it's likely that his Rillaboom is not. His Rillaboom is banded, which means my Volk outspeeds, which also means my Urshifu is outspeeds, which also means the Darm likely isn't Scarf. And so what I'm going to do here on his likely Shadow Ball is I'm going to mid-ground Zero Aura, who doesn't need to be at full for any particular reason. Very surprised that he went to Mag, but this is pure upside. Well, not necessarily, because if he is, since it's banded Urshifu, if it's banded Darm too, I do want this. So I'm gonna Volt Switch out here. I could have Plasma Fist hard, but I'd assume he wouldn't want to just straight lose to Volk. So Dazzling Gleam, interesting. Which means this allows me to go back to, since he has Dazzling Gleam, he must be some weird stuff, I'd assume. Last turn of Grassy Terrain, so I'm gonna do this. Can't knock out, so I'm assuming he's gonna Volt Switch or Electric move here. And because that was his set, Dazzling Gleam, I can 2-hit KO him here, and he can't 2-hit KO me. I mean, he can't Oko me. And so we're probably going to be staring down a Rillaboom here. And based on what he did the first time, we do want to position Volcarona versus Rillaboom. Because he tricked and his Chandelure is essentially worthless, I can Bug Buzz once again. Him going Chandelure just means I sweep him, I think. Darm might take it. I don't know. +2. Let's see. Because with the Grassy Terrain, Trick Room, huh? See, these guys are goons, man. Goons. If I was a what would you go to revenge kill me? Darmanitan. Wow, that does a ton to me. That does a ton to me. Hatterene is good right now. Really good. I don't want another 47% though. Certainly not. Certainly not. And so I can Scald here. Chandelure, I mean, Volcarona in and of itself is problematic to him, like without a boost. And so we don't want to lose that. It quite literally destroys his team without the boost as well. And so Torkoal is gonna be his main guy. It is what it is. Hatterene, I'm not gonna be able to do Eruption. He's definitely slower than me. This might be slower than me too, just on the fact that he doubles the Chandelure. Solid play. While I wanna, I was gonna say while I want to just stay in an Earthquake, predicting him to go to Hatterene, because like at that point you cannot play around with me. But maybe he's pseudo Trick Room then, which is sort of problematic for I just need fucking rocks, or I need a lot of damage on his Darmanitan. Yeah, I'm gonna have to zero or him, burn him, then zero. Yeah. Him taking so much damage with the Specs Eruption is a pretty big deal. Draining Kiss, Sand plus Trick Room plus hopefully a burn should do the trick. Don't get the burn. Draining Kiss isn't doing shit. So he's gonna have to Side Shock, which I'm thinking, like, since it's non-defensive, Urshifu at this point can sweep in and of itself. I think with then Darm just Flare Blitzes, and even after a bulk of Darm can't knock me out, so I don't even need to trip about that. And I think Rillaboom goes down, so I just need to set up for that. Trick Room one more turn. I'll let him have it as he goes to Torkoal. Very surprised by that, because Torkoal cannot beat Mantine. Very odd. Yeah. Very interesting decision. He has one more turn of Trick Room. At this point, I might be able to just even knock destroy him, because all I need is damage on his Rillaboom. Hatterene. I want my Hatterene in case he gets Trick Room back up. And so Torkoal is gone. He has Sun Up. If I go Hippowdon here, it's gonna go to Rillaboom, which I don't want it. If I go to Volcarona here, if I go to Zero Aura and knock, he gets to go to Darm 2, but then he gets to U-turn. I want him to Blitz. Let's if the Darm is Scarf again. if it's not Scarf, then we're just Gucci anyway. And so what I'm gonna do is go to my Volcarona here because it's the most threatening and it forces Darmanitan in. And not only does it force Darmanitan in, it forces him to go for Flare Blitz because I'm +1 special attack in the sun. We're gonna go hard Hippowdon on the Darm. Flare Blitz damage plus sand should get him to the point. One, we're gonna see what kind of Darm he is. If he is Darm that 2-hit KOs Hippowdon and he's clearly bandaged, which means Rillaboom just wins. Not Rillaboom, Urshifu just wins because generally again they're bulk up, and so I don't know the roll on Rillaboom. Otherwise, you know, we could just go for what's that thing called? You'd assume that I'm choice banded, Brutal Fury or Wicked Blow. I don't know why I always call it Brutal Strike. It makes me think of Brutal Swing. And so here comes the Darmanitan. If he U-turns here, he's a beast. So yeah, he's banded, which means it's just Urshifu fodder. Do I want Hippo more than I want Hatterene? Yep, I do. I do want Hippo more than I want Hatterene. And because he's banded, like Volcarona just wins with Fiery Dance anyway. So let's say he doubles out to Rillaboom. One of two things happens. Urshifu wins. And so Urshifu gets to come out here. And I can just go for Wicked Blow. Wicked Blow knocks us out. I'd assume that he just tried to sack the... no, it just stays in. Which means Volcarona just sweeps now. Yeah. And so we already talked about Volk and Rillaboom being good. I mean, I keep calling this thing Rillaboom, Urshifu being good, but obviously we assumed that it would be straight sweeping. But that was a very cool team with the Trick Room Sun component. So we're gonna slowly work our way back up. I haven't gotten time to practice today, but what I did do before is I watched all the recent tournament games, so that I could, you know, like if I can't play a ton of games, because you know obviously it takes longer to play than to watch, but basically what I've been looking at, since my skill is pretty much consistent, what's dropped is my knowledge and thus my awareness. If you know about the 3 pillars, you have 3 pillars that are required to be good at competitive Pokemon. Have fun, bro. And so if your knowledge drops, you know, in the case of a new meta game, things are going to be kind of wonky, and things are wonky. So what I'm looking for in those games is what moves things use. And so, like, as I'm looking at this team preview, if I've seen in tournament, oh, I've noticed all the Magearnas are running this, then my awareness will be up as I make a game plan to account for that Magearna set. And so that's why it's always difficult, and it was difficult in the beginning of the meta for me to adjust as I was starting to come back, because I just didn't know what people ran, you know. And so in this case, in this game, he's super weak to Zeraora, incredibly so. His fighting resist is, and he has to, you know, and Punk Rocker right here, and but this thing has very bad defense, so maybe after Rocks and Punk Rocker will die. But I can only get up Rocks. I can get up Rocks versus Ferrothorn. I don't get up Rocks very easily in this one, unless Punk Rocker is Specs and then Boom Bursts. But yeah, let's stop and assess this. So upon Quiver Dancing, Volcarona destroys him, assuming one Pelipper is whittled into, because Groudon obviously can Alka Jet, but Rain not being up is important. Impressive. What was I saying there? Hippowdon's core purpose is going to be, I really do want Rocks in this game. It's going to be important to trade those versus Ferrothorn, especially because the Ferrothorn is going to be reluctant to use it because of my Hatterene. So he's likely going to knock when that matchup comes up. Zeraora can VS around on his team and destroy. Very, very dangerous member. Mantine guards against everything except Crawdon. Crawdon's a big problem. Very big problem. Urshifu bluffing band is going to be very important in this one. That's why I also need Rocks. And Hatterene is going to be there to guard and bait in likely this, if I can, have it Sludge Wave or Boom Burst and Murk. But sweeping wise, I'm looking at probably Urshifu plus Zero Aura, as he opts for Toxtricity. And so this is a situation where I'm grateful because I know that he cannot Oko me because I you know, it's funny, if I had gone for Plasma Fist there, Boom Burst actually wouldn't have done damage and I would have 2-hit KO'd him. I always find that funny. But Toxtricity, massive problem for my Hippowdon. I know it's a mono water team, but it's a massive problem to switch in on Hippowdon. And so I'm not too concerned about his Crawdont here. Obviously he knows that I'm choice banded. But the reason is, outside of rain, Urshifu can take a +2 Jet. And so problem is I have to switch something into this. Barraskewda is well checked by I wonder. I mean, I can beat any mag set, right? And I can beat Barraskewda is too problematic for me to let that shit lock it itself into whatever it wants. Am I gonna have to play without rain? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go Hippowdon hard here. I know he won't Crab Hammer, right? Basically, I knew he wouldn't Crab Hammer there. And basically, what I needed to do was sack Zero Aura. As good as it is, I don't need it. And I can position myself here. It's a tough turn, right? Because, you know, ideally you want to catch the Pelipper. Because I don't want Pelipper in versus this, because then I'm going to be staring down Crawdont versus Mantine, as you're going to probably see in the upcoming turns, or Crawdont versus Hatterene. Basically, this Crawdont's going to be in, which I don't want. Life Orb. Is it worth the trade? I don't think it's worth the trade. Damn. Right, Pelipper obviously coming in, but now I know he's gonna think I'm Choice Scarf, which is gonna be a big deal when I bulk up. So likely right here he's gonna go for U-turn, and then I'm gonna be staring down Crawdont with Mantine, as I said. But I wonder if I'm valuing Volk too much here, or valuing Hatterene too much. Now Volk is important because that Magearna guards against any Magearna set. I'll go Hippo. I know he's going to U-turn. I just want to shut down his Sand. And so now Close Combat into Wicked Blow should kill this. I mean, CC did 26. It's going to do 26 again, and Wicked Blow should be a neutral hit. And so obviously we're staring down Crawdont, unfortunately. Just don't foresee us getting rocks in this game. Maybe I'm overvaluing Hatterene. Yeah, let's give up Hatterene instead. Maybe I'm overvaluing Hatterene. That's an important thing I gotta be mindful of. So I'll Mystical Fire just in case he tries to control the weather. And so this, it allows me to just Wicked Blow hard. Whoa. Whoa. I doubt he'd go to Pelipper. I'd be shocked if Wicked Blow didn't KO here. As he goes to Ferrothorn, and that's Death Pharaoh. It doesn't take it well at all. I'm gonna bluff. Yeah, I'm gonna bluff that I'm choiced. But anyway, Volcarona comes in and maims, and so Barraskewda. I think you'd always go for Flare Cannon here. It just guarantees value because you'd feel safe going to Volcarona. I can't have this thing doing as it pleases. So Barraskewda doubles. Thing about this is he can't even flip turn, so I'm guessing he's gonna double the Crawdont. We'll find. Let me think about all my ways to win. Barraskewda Cause my gut is telling me to just quiver to Bug Buzz here. My gut is telling me to Bug Buzz here. Okay, so he does liquidation. My gut was very wrong. Very, very wrong. So positionally, this is very good because I'm going to be staring down Pelipper, which I don't mind. I'm going to be scalding. Pelipper is going to come in, and I'm going to scald whatever he goes into next. He goes to Magearna, which is a pretty big deal because now I get to bulk up, and then I can Sucker Punch sweep. The Mag, it might have. Let me think. If he Volt switches, if he Fleur Cannons, if he Volt switches, I'm staring down Crawdaunt. If he Fleur Cannons, I get to go Volcarona. I get to Quiver Dance as he goes to Pelipper. Pelipper gets Psychicked. Then we're going to be staring down Barraskewda and Crawdaunt. Yeah, I'd rather Hippowdon be in, which is great because now I get to get up Stealth Rocks because I can tank a Scald. It's actually pretty important. Barraskewda dying to Sucker Punch and the Crawdaunt and Pelipper not being able to come in willy-nilly. So that's actually a pretty big turn. Big turn. Now I get to keep this and go to my Mantine. Even if he U-turns, it doesn't matter because Mantine, one, he's going to have to come in Crawdaunt on Sand and Rocks. Alright, so that's a move. Either way, I'm gonna Scald spam. Basically, a position he doesn't. He seems to not have either a Volt Switch or he should just Roost here. I guess I just completely blanked on the fact that he could defog. But either way, I wasn't getting around that. So let's see. I get the burn, which is dope, and he U-turns, which doesn't give him hazard, not hazards, you know what I'm saying, doesn't give him it's obviously here he has to go for knock because my Urshifu is so low. It's not the best. I'm debating whether or not I want to. I'd assume his other move is Swords Dance. Like, you don't ever run close combat. Do I even need to predict here? I mean, you sack Pelipper. What I don't want is a Magearna in the rain with like Thunderbolt or something. So I can lose. Let's say that. Okay, perfect. Come on, dude. So that's actually pretty whack that he crit me there, but I don't think it'll end up mattering. Basically, the situation I didn't want was Mag versus Volk in the rain with +1. Let's say I went to Mantine and the Magearna, because for example, right now it's gonna be obviously me going for Wicked Blow here, knocking out the Pelipper. Barraskewda never carries Aqua Jet. I can close combat here. Mag drops, right? And so he has to Waterlock even if he has Aqua Jet, and so that seals the deal. Again, Crawdaunt never runs close combat, especially like you in a rain. You definitely want Swords, and you just don't need the close combat coverage. And so that's pretty much what I gambled off of. But you got the crit, so he probably would have crit me with Crab Hammer as well. So bulking up there because of Urshifu's insane natural defense and HP, I'm pretty sure I would have comfortably took that. And then he wouldn't have assumed that I had the Sucker Punch there, and then I'd have gotten him. I guess he could have played SD Wars and we could have lost that way. But at that point, when I thought he'd sack Pelipper into, I don't think it was in his favor to win that Sucker Punch war. Though, I mean, at that point, you're like, fuck it, balls to wall. But him outplaying 8 Sucker Punches is going to be tough. Though, if he outplays enough of them, then I can't Sucker Punch his Barraskewda, so that's a thing. That would have been important, and then his Barraskewda could do whatever he wants. So it's going to be our last game. As we look at this team, Volcarona upon Quiver Dancing, pretty dangerous, pretty dangerous. Beats the majority of his team with Stealth Rocks up. All we got to be wary of is the Cinderace. which is going to be pretty annoying. Choice Banded knockout Zero is going to go a long way in this one, particularly if it is a specs variant of Mrjamvad. But you know, the MVP as usual is going to be likely bulk up Urshifu, and I think this set is very much underrated, especially with black glasses. We're probably picking up Oko's on Rillaboom with so little damage needed, and the fact that we can we're bulked up and we have so much defense. Rillaboom can't really do too much damage to us. So let's break this down and assess. Hippowdon guards well against somewhat Marowak, somewhat Cinderace, and somewhat these four. In fact, 5, but less so Mrjamvad. It's not gonna be my go-to for Mrjamvad. Zeraora for Magnezone, Mantine, Semi for Cinderace, and then Hatterene is gonna be there. That's just there. Like, it really doesn't do very well in this game. And so obviously, as the last time, Rillaboom's a problem, and for that reason I'm going to be going with Volk. I'm aiming for I'm very surprised he led with Marowak, because he's so fucking weak to my Urshifu that a Marowak lead would just leave him in a very bad spot turn 1. But it worked out, and so we're gonna be able to I'm gonna go Mantine hard here. Didn't think he'd Poltergeist, but it crits. Well, there's that. There's that. So I got a couple ways I can play this now. Part of me wants to close combat hard here, but I want to find out what his Mrjamvad is. I definitely want to find out what his Mrjamvad is. And so I can sweep him with this. Okay, Wicked Blow. I wonder if people are running Choice Scarf Magnezone now. That would be bothersome. I don't want any damage on this. I don't think he's Choice Scarf. I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna pretend that I'm banded. Well, that I'm. Now he saw the damage output, so he's like, he's scarfed. That's what he thinks. And so, because he thinks I'm scarfed, he's gonna opt for something that's a mid ground between Volcarona and or Hippowdon here. And so, likely something along the lines of Fleur Cannon. But because Hatterene is corely here for this, yeah. It's primarily here for this. What this does is allows me to, well, is that how I want to play this? Yeah, since he Fleur Canned again. And he's spexed. So, since he's specs, I can sweep him with just Urshifu. First, phase 1 I'll need is Rocks. Predicting Marowak. Okay, that's fine by me. And he's slower than me as well, which is important to note. And he no longer has a fighting resistance. So I'm very surprised he was going to give me Marrow. Hippowdon is pretty important for the remainder of his team though. And so I don't want to be super willy-nilly with it. There's no way I knock him out from here. And so I'm going to sack Hatterene. Yeah, I'd rather lose Hatterene than have him Poltergeisting as he pleases. And so, again, he's super weak to Banded Zeraora as well. And so, again, I'm just letting people be great. You know what I mean? As he's choice specs, he's definitely going to try to hit my Volcarona here. But because he has a whole Cinderace, I'm going to have Volcarona take this. Oh, he actually flashed, which is great for us, because what that allows is he has to go to Cinderace here. Well, actually, he doesn't have to hard Cinderace, but he's banded, which means if he's banded, well, that means that Urshifu, my Zeraora is looking like it's just gonna destroy. I want to be careful of his Rillaboom. I do want to be careful of his Rillaboom. So me allowing this to get this low was potentially problematic. And so I'll have to find out something to bulk up on. But Hippowdon, unless it's like high jump kick, I think takes any 2 hits. If it's like banded high jump kick, yeah. It's life or high jump kick. And so if he opts for the Rillaboom situation, Grassy Glide doesn't knock me out. And so he's gonna go for the spin, sacrificing Excadrill. It's leftovers drill. Is this my opportunity? How much is Rillaboom gonna tank? Man, I need Mag to die in 1 hit. So I know he's gonna spin. I need Mag to die in 1 hit. I don't go down to Grassy Glide, and if he goes for Wood Hammer and he's banded, then Urshifu just does his damn thing anyway. And so that's the angle I'm gunning for right now. What I don't want is for him to Swords Dance. Right, that's not happening, bro. Like, I'm not allowing that. And so the fact that he Swords Dance means he only has Grassy Glide, and I don't believe Grassy Glide can KO me. And so he has to go for back to Rillaboom, right? Yeah, I'm not allowing that, bro. Swords Dance, Rapid Spin, Grassy Glide. And so the next time he switches out, okay, excellent. He went to Magearna. That's exactly what I needed. And so what this does is it allows us to go hard Zera. And that should just be game, because Zera prevents Rillaboom from sweeping. He can't double the Rillaboom, which I think he should do. He just Flare Cannons though. I think that's game, because I just Fiery Dance here. And you, even if you knock me out, yeah, Urshifu just comes in. I guess I got a CC. Man, I needed Flamethrower there. Fiery Dance was too weak. If I Quiver Danced, would have forced the Grassy Glide. I need Wicked Blow to kill him here in 1 go. If I CC, I'm pretty sure I lose guaranteed. You'd think Wicked Blow can do 22%, right? Okay, cool. And so I'd assume he'd Grassy Glide twice. But I'm hoping I know I can't kill him in 1. But maybe if I Wicked Blow into Sucker Punch, which he won't expect, because I'm faster. Yeah. He won't expect Sucker Punch. Yeah, okay. Excellent. So, GG, bro. That was actually very close, because he had a lot of problems to my team. And so we gained 1746. That's where we're going to wrap up the live for today. Slowly climbing back up, as I said, you know, once you learn the metagame and whatnot. But definitely post your teams down below. I enjoyed this. I'm just enjoying the metagame, man. If you missed the super long live yesterday, if you want something, it was very chill. Just very fun, you know. The metagame is real fun right now. I'm going to have a blast when I start building. Team building videos coming soon, as I did have my schedule readjusted. So rather than 5 days a week for YouTube as well as other things, because the month of July there are a lot of things I want to get going with the website, as I've been talking about forever, and several articles and stories that I'm conjuring at the moment. And so I need that extra day off, otherwise it just takes too long. Yeah, but yeah, if you guys are having a rough day, hopefully this helped. I know a lot of people might be having hard times with whatever they're going through, beyond COVID, but just, you know, whatever the fuck, man. Truly, I'm with you. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.